Good afternoon. Welcome to episode 15 of the Blunt Talk Sports podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Wright, coming to you from the cloudy and beautiful confines of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Wherever you may be listening or watching, I thank you. As always, like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. I just want to take a quick moment to say, as always, thank you guys for the support, the comments, the feedback. Everything is huge. It definitely helps the channel. It helps me while I continue this journey and this process. And I just want to thank you all for everything. And hopping right into it, I want to get into the NBA games from over this weekend. A ton of action, ton of jam-packed things to talk about. First and foremost, Mavs and Clippers. I told y'all. I'm so glad this series is over. I don't have to hear any more about Kawhi Leonard not playing, James Harden not showing up, or Paul George just being non-existent. It's finally over. Thank God. Shout out again to Luka Doncic. He did it again. 28, 13, and 7. You know, as I stated, in a previous episode, that Luka is just continuing to update his resume. He's continuing to just show y'all consistently that he's going to end up being, when his career is all said and done, one of the best playoff performers, in my personal opinion, in NBA history. Once he secures a championship, that'll definitely help. But games like this, performances like this are major. He didn't shoot that great from the field. He's definitely, 1 of 10 from 3, which was horrible. But he was never a great three-point shooter. I would have preferred him to take less than 10 threes. At that point, maybe 6 or 7. But be that as it may, his running mate Kyrie Irving showing up. I mean, in my opinion, Kyrie's had a great year. He's always been there. It's always as needed. And eventually, for moments like this, especially, these are the times when you're happy as hell to have a Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving is going to consistently show you time and time again what it is that he does, what it is that he can do as far as a closer, as far as that guy that you can rely on as a consistent scorer. I mean, 30 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 of 9 from 3. He was a killer. He was a complete assassin down the stretch of that game. He is the single-handed reason Luka carrying them in the first half, and then Kyrie just going along the way and shutting the door at the end. It was a masterclass performance. Kyrie doing it again. Shout out to Kyrie, another Jersey boy. I mean, doing it. I will admit, though, if Luka and the Mavs, especially Luka, because the way he shot the 3 wasn't great. If they're going to beat Oklahoma City, he has to shoot the 3 better. He has to be at least 42% at the worst. He can't be 35, 30, anywhere between 32 and 35%. Anything below that is just, they're going to get killed. With that being said, Kyrie also shot 57% from the court, which was amazing. I mean, like I said, he was an assassin that night. One of the best playoff performances, one of the best playoff games I've seen from Kyrie in a while. And it was hands down beautiful. Lively played well, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 4 defensive rebounds. I mean, let's be real. Something that I knocked on the Mavericks early on in this series. I was saying to you guys, if they don't have the defensive presence that they need to really attribute to stop Zubac or really apply pressure to take, the Clippers' main source of points away, which is the interior. Because let's be real. Even though James Harden can shoot the 3, even though Terrence Mann can shoot the 3, they're not really a 3-point shooting team. That's not really their calling card. So it was a masterclass, really, that what Jason Kidd was able to do to switch up and get the guys to raise up their defensive intensity. And it was beautiful. Gafford, he also as well stepped up. His season average was like 11 and a half. He gave him 13 points. But most important, where he impacted the game was free throws. When he got to the line, he hit all of his shots. Little things matter in the playoffs. These are the major times where you need those type of guys, those role players. You guys are going to hear me say this until the season is over, until the finals are done. The bench is so pivotal in the playoffs. You need to have a bench. And these are reasons why. These little things all matter, and they lead to, you closing out a series instead of it being a game 7 being played yesterday or today, however it would have broken down. But yeah, they'll just need to continue this, though. This style of play, this style of defense that they had in this series, they're going to need to continue this to ensure that they win against Oklahoma City, because the task is going to be daunting. I mean, between SGA, the way Chet Holmgren and their team has been shooting this year, their defense has been good. It's going to be a lot for Luka now, but I think they could be up to the challenge. It's going to be a great series. As far as the Clippers, I think it's safe to say they need to break this shit up. I mean, this has been an abject failure. I mean, they do have one Western Conference Finals appearance out of this, but I mean, this has been terrible. As I've stated to you, PG got to go. You need more consistency from your bench. You don't have enough to compete. I mean, Dan, you got Steve Ballmer coming out now talking about, they shouldn't be concerned about winning championships. What? That was the whole reason you bought the team. That was why you were making all these additions and acquisitions. They've demoralized this man to just say, let's just get to the playoffs and be consistent. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad if you're a Clippers fan. I mean, like I said, you can solve this problem a multitude of ways. Getting rid of Paul George is one of them. But I'll continue on that a little bit later. I don't want to make this just a PG show today, beat him up, because the team was horrible in itself. 18 points for Paul George, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. However, he shot just as bad as Luka did from 3. He was 2 of 10. So he gave you, in a closeout game, he gave you nothing. Mediocre performance at best. Efficiency rating was negative 19. Horrible. I mean, it was just horrible. James Harden. Another playoff loss. More of the same. He did give you 16 points. Give you that. 13 assists. Give him that as well. However, 0 of 6 from 3. Not cutting it. Not cutting it. These numbers are good from a Mike Conley. But even Mike Conley shoots better from 3. This is bad. Zubac played well, 17 points, 11 rebounds. Got to give credit to Zubac there. Terrence Mann was decent as well with 14 points, 6 rebounds. However, got into foul trouble a lot in this game, and that kind of limited what he could do, as far as going forward. I think that's what limited him offensively, because he was playing so hard defensively. Because I think the way he was shooting, he could have easily gotten 20 points, 22 points, but I think playing so hard defensively, honestly, slow closeout game, it cost him. It took some point. It took out a lot out of him. He had 5 fouls in the game, so he was 1 away from being taken out. And even Norman Powell, gave you 20 points and 4 rebounds. But, again, not enough. Paul George and James Harden, giving you mediocre performances, 18 and 16, not enough. So they're going to have to get off this iteration of the Clippers. They're going to have to figure it out. I don't know who they bring in, but they've demoralized the owner to say, stop talking about championships. That's how fucking bad it's gotten for the Clippers. So, not that they were even really on the cusp of winning a championship, but I guess the thought of it, whatever. I digress. Nonetheless, we're going into the Timberwolves and Nuggets. This series was the start, and this is game 1, and I will say this. Great game all the way through, tight game. Minnesota, if they can steal games like that, they have the capability to win this series. Anthony Edwards was phenomenal. 43.7 rebounds, 3 of 7 from 3. He's truly on the rise, y'all. Like, he's really, really elevated from that top 15 type of player to being that top 10 type of guy. I really feel like that he's doing the requisite things that's needed to get where he needs to be. I'm very excited that, he's really making the requisite moves and plays. I mean, it's just gotten to a place now where he's in that top 10 conversation. Going forward, I like to see how Rudy Gobert fought. He fought hard on the boards. I guess when you're going to lack offense, because he only gave you 6 points, but the 13 rebounds were tremendous. He had 4 personal fouls. So again, you're fighting Jokic in the paint. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot that ties in with that. So again, credit to Rudy Gobert, his agility, and just the fact that he fought hard on those boards and fought hard on defense. Because you can only limit the Jokic so much. He's a great player. He's a top 5 player in the league. You're not going to hold him to 15 points. But if Rudy Gobert can frustrate Jokic and force him into some bad shots, that helps their situation. Karl Anthony Towns, 20 points, 4 rebounds. I gotta admit, you need more. He was 2 of 4 from 3. And I'm not mad. That's a decent amount. He plays the perimeter way too much. You need to be attacking that paint. You need to be attacking that paint and forcing the Nuggets to realize all you got down here is Jokic. You got to contend with 2 big men, Gobert and me. Cat, sometimes he plays very undersized. He plays very small forwardish. It's weird. But nonetheless, give it to him. He still showed up. Mike Conley, though, was a low-key unsung hero of this game. 14 points, 10 assists, and needless to say, 3 or 4 from 3. I mean, like, Mike Conley just continues to be that timeless wonder. He goes from team to team. He's been with Timberwolves for a couple years now, but he goes from team to team, and he just winds up still giving you those performances where it's like, damn, man, he really still, you know, that really is still Mike Conley. He still got it. Because, I mean, a lot of guys at this point, they don't really have that type of performance in them anymore where they can even give you a game like that. You know, maybe they give you a good scoring outage, but as far as assists, you know, and efficiency from 3, it just really don't happen like that. But credit to Mike Conley, played well, all-around performance for him. And Naz Reid, man, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 of 4 from 3, you know, killing him. You know, it was crucial what he did because Jaden McDaniels didn't give you much. And with Jaden McDaniels not giving you much, it was just one of those situations where, you know, you needed those points, especially, again, Jaden McDaniels giving you 0, Rudy giving you 6. Naz Reid was crucial in this game. So credit to the Timberwolves. Like I said, all props to them. They're doing everything they need to. They stole the game. Gave Denver their first loss, I believe, in 2 years at home. So, yeah, give it to them. Give it to them. But with that being said, the Denver Nuggets. Bad shooting nights isn't common for this team. So I'm not going to act like this is going to happen every game. But there is a trend that I've noticed that I'm not sure you may have noticed. I'm going to bring to your attention that if you're the Nuggets, you better fix this now or you're going to lose this series. And what is it that I mean? And I want full disclaimer out there. I think the Nuggets are going to win this series. However, something that I've noticed that I think it could be a deficiency that can cost them potentially the series if Mike Malone doesn't make adjustments, the necessary adjustments. Against the Lakers, okay, before I go into any stats here, that's to my point. Against the Lakers, I researched game 2, game 3, game 4. So 3 games. The worst shooting performances that we have from the Nuggets in these games, where they shot efficiently from the floor, and we're talking 42% and up. You know, I don't want to, you know, finesse you like, oh, they shot 40. No. They shot 42 and up, 42 to 45. What scares me is their three-point shooting. Their three-point shooting has been very inconsistent this postseason. I'll explain. In game 2 against the Lakers, the Nuggets shot 23% from three-point range. In game 3 against the Lakers, they shot 17% from three-point range. In game 4 against the Lakers, they shot 30% against, you know, from three-point range. Now, again, you're going to say, you know, and what the fuck difference does this matter? They beat them 4-1 in a gentleman's sweep. I agree. But we all know, excluding LeBron and AD, that team was not equipped to contend with the Nuggets. So with that being said, this Timberwolves team is young, hungry, and willing to prove themselves. And sometimes you got guys playing over their head. Sometimes you got guys reaching their peak early. And then you have guys like Anthony Edwards who are coming into their own right in front of our eyes. I'm just saying it's something to keep an eye on. This can't happen because, again, this will be a 7-game series, and it might not go the way the Nuggets expect. But having said all that, Jokic and Porter showed up. Jokic with 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, damn near triple-double. I mean, this guy is why he's MVP. This is why this guy is a top 5 player. This is why he's been consistently, you know, had his team, you know, he won a championship last year. His team, you know, flirting with the championship for the past couple of years. This is why. You know, Rudy Gobert played a great performance against him defensively, and it still led to damn near a triple-double. Michael Porter Jr., like I said, he played well as well. Murray shot decently on the floor. However, his efficiency was terrible. It was negative 22, which is not great. 17 points, 4 assists, 2 or 4 from 3. Has to play better if they're going to, beat this team. He needs to have the performances that he had against LA because without it, they're going to struggle offensively. They just need more, and they're going to require more out of him to win. And the Nuggets bench must play better. Throughout that Lakers series, their bench showed up. And again, could have just been game 1. They gave, maybe the Timberwolves threw their best punch. Maybe the Nuggets were still trying to game plan to get an adjustment or feel for it. I don't know. I don't want to make excuses for anybody. All I know is this. They cannot continue to play like that, and the bench needs to step up, i.e., if not, this series is going to go 7, and it might not go the way they want. Having said all that, we're going to go into what I believe was the most exciting game of the day yesterday, which was Cavs versus Magic, a Game 7. I don't know about y'all, but I'm always a sucker for a Game 7. You know, it's do or die, obviously. Cavs win this series, as I told y'all, I predicted I thought they would win. However, though, full disclosure, as y'all know, I did not think it was going to go 7 games. I thought this would have been racked up in 6. Credit to the Magic. I mean, it was a thriller from start to finish. Shocking because if y'all remember, first half, Cavs were down by 18. Didn't look good. Didn't look good. It looked like it was going to be one of those situations where it was like, oh, shit, Magic might have stole one. It might have stole this. Might be going to the second round. But credit to the Cavs for bouncing back. But I want to make sure, again, I want to highlight the Magic first before I get on the Cavaliers and their resiliency. Paolo Banchero has arrived. 38 points, 16 rebounds. I don't want to misspeak. 16 rebounds, 3 of 6 from 3. What was even more impressive than that, though, 15 of 18 from the free throw line. This kid has fucking arrived. This guy, I mean, it's gotten to a point where I'm watching him this series. I watched him throughout the whole season. I'm like, okay, he got it, carrying his team. You know, he's doing his thing. You know, he's averaging 20, 23. He's hovering between that. Then he gets some games between 24 and 25. And I see him jumping, but nothing real exponential. You know, he didn't have that real great scoring outburst yet. You know, he had a couple big games, but nothing like this, where the magnitude of this in a Game 7. He showed the fuck up. And I want to make sure Paolo gets his credit. Young man, you know, when I seen him get drafted, I kind of, and I don't want to lie, I saw the bill and I said, damn, he kind of got the frame where he could possibly make it. But you never know. You know, you never know how a guy shot. Turns out you never know how coaching, you know, the team, the Magic were fucking horrible when he got there. So to see them now show up like this and to be in a Game 7 and to potentially be in the second round, and he would have been the reason they've gotten there, it's amazing. So they almost pulled it off. And I just want to make sure I give him credit for that. He and this team will be better next year. I mean, I make no mistake about it. They're going to grow. They're going to have to definitely upgrade around him. They're definitely going to have to upgrade that bench. But this team will be better next year. Jalen Suggs was just a fucking disappointment. 10 points, 9 rebounds, 2 of 10 from 3. Complete wash. Gary Harris, where were you? Again, 6 points and all your shots, all your points came for 3-point range. You only hit two threes. So, and then the one that really was just a heartbreaker, Franz Wagner. He was huge throughout this series, pivotal, crucial, played a key role in a couple games. I mean, hell, he was great in games. He was good in Game 6. He was good in Game 3. I remember the thing that got me though. In this game, in Game 7, 6 points and 0 of 5 from 3. It's not enough. It's not enough. They got to get Paolo some help. And Franz will learn from this. You know, and he was 1 of 15, you know, from the floor. Like that pressure got to him. Young team, situational basketball. It happens. They'll grow from it. But again, kudos to the Magic for a good year. But they got to definitely get Paolo some help if they want to take the next step. Having said all that, shout out to Donovan Mitchell, man. Boy was electric last night. 39 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. You know, he literally carried them. Production-wise, he carried them. He carried the offense. So I want to make sure I give credit to him for that. Definitely got the sting of getting knocked out of the first round, you know, off his back, you know, from last year. But it's going to be major playing Boston. They're going to need all those type of performances from him to beat Boston. They're going to need all of that. Evan Mobley was solid, you know, 11 points, 16 rebounds and 5 blocks. All 5 blocks were crucial. Definitely had a key block late in the fourth, you know, to help, you know, seal the win. So, you know, credit to Evan Mobley there. Work on the boards, though, cannot go understated. His work rebounding was crucial. It was imperative. Being with Jared Allen being injured, they needed every one of those 16 rebounds. So, Evan Mobley, shout out to you, bro. Darius Garland was a little worried. You know, guys lose their cool. Pressure burst pipe sometimes. Didn't know if it was the pressure getting to him, or he didn't feel like he was getting enough touches. He didn't feel like, you know, whatever it was. It was dope to see Donovan Mitchell, you know, get him calmed down, pull him to the side, talk to him, get his head back into the game. Because once that happened, that clutch 3 that he hit late in the game, it was so needed. I mean, and that's why you can never lose sight. Things may not be going right early, but if you just stick with it, later on, you never know. That shot goes your way, that rebound goes your way, that tip ball, that steal, whatever it is. And that's now why the Cavs are in the second round. So credit to Darius Garland for keeping his cool and getting his head back in the game. And I mean, that was, that three was the reason why they started to pull away from the Magic and pretty much ended the game in the series. And tonight, it's going to be a couple games on. We got game one of the Pacers and Knicks, 7:30 Eastern. So definitely make sure you watch that. Game two, Wolves and Nuggets will be 10 o'clock. So, definitely make sure you watch that. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching and listening. This has been the NBA games, the coverage from the weekend. Definitely make sure, again, as I said, you catch the games tonight. As always, I love you guys. Thank you. You have a great day.